Hi everyone, and welcome back to the course. Here we will talk about the Docker Content Trust and Public Registry. So, of course, we will start by talking about what Docker Content Trust is. So, the DCT or the Docker Content Trust is a mechanism that allows the developers to sign their content for a reliable distribution mechanism. So, when a user downloads an image from a repository, which is an external entity, this mechanism allows you to check the image signature, receiving a certificate that includes the public key that lets you verify the image origin. So this option is disabled by default, and you will normally need to define the Docker Content Trust environment variable in order to run the Docker Engine trust capability. We will do that by simply use the export command in Linux, and you just need to set it to 1. So the content trust actually protects against some very specific attacks that include protection of malicious code in the images. So for example, this mechanism protects you if a possible attacker wants to make a modification in an official image to add some code that might bug your computer. This will also help you to protect yourself versus repeated attacks. The security mechanism of the Docker Content Trust allows you to maintain the integrity of the image through the use of timestamps. And finally, the protection against key commitments will create a new key if a key is compromised, and we can create a new image or actually a new version of the image with this new key. So we can verify a Docker image normally by using the Docker Trust command, and let's see how this will be done from the terminal. So here I am in my local terminal of my local device. So the first thing you can do is to enable the Docker Content Trust by simply creating this parameter. So let's do export Docker Content Trust equals to 1. Okay. And so this is how you can enable it. And if you want to disable it, you simply set this export parameter to 0. So now I want to show you how you can actually verify image signatures. And for that, I will use a Python image that we have. So let's first do Docker images to see all the images that are installed in your device. And you can see that we're having right here our Python image, which is the latest. So if you want to verify the signature of that image, you can do Docker trust inspect, and then we can do pretty, and then Python latest. Okay, so let's hit return here, and you can see all the signature for Python latest. And so you might see some things that make no sense to you, but actually when an image is downloaded, Docker client will return a string that is representing the image hash. And hash is something that is a commit ID or the last commit for that image, right? So using this tag, you can directly refer to the particular version that you have. So this hash is the one with which the image will be validated when performing the pull of the image from the repository. So for example, if you have this hash here, but you actually download image or you edit the image and it has another hash, then you would get a checksum error because the two hashes will not be verified. So by enabling the Docker Content Trust, what your system will simply do is when you're trying to download images, it will compare this hash and will deny any images that when you compare this hash with the external one, there is no match. So let's check a tool that allows you to securely publish and manage images. So some notary objectives are to improve confidence in images that we download, either from public or private repositories, and to delegate trust between users. So here I will show you how you can download this application that has a server and a client parts. And so the client part is installed on the local machine and handles the storage of the keys locally. At the same time, it handles the communication with the notary server. So let's see how this application can be installed and work in our devices. So let's download the zip file, and I will unzip that file on my desktop. So here you have it, double click and this will automatically unzip. And now, as you can see, you have your Notary master folder. So here you can see a few files, but the one that is doing the whole execution is the Docker Compose YAML file. So if I open it, here you will see the way that the server is built and the signer, which is our client. Both of them have specific Docker file so they can load their images. Okay, so let's run this file and the application should start. So if I go back to the terminal and I go to the Notary master, okay, you can see that we have all the files here. And so let's do docker dash compose build, okay, and when I select that, this will actually build our image. So that's done. It might take about 2 to 5 minutes, and after that you can do docker dash compose, then let's do build, actually let's do up dash d, okay, and this will basically run our server and client. Okay, so everything is created and run. So if I go now to the Docker, you can see that we have our Notary master application that is currently running, and you can check the logs from here. Okay, and you can see here on the side, even though this is one container, it actually includes 3 containers right here. So we have the master server, the signed server, and a MySQL database. So this is a complete application that has server, client, and database that can store information. So if you do export docker connect trust equals to 1, this will create the connect trust variable, which will verify the signatures. And then if you do export docker connect trust underscore server, here you can assign the particular server that you're going to use. So you can do https:/notary server, and let's do it on port 4443. Okay, so the first environment variable allows you to enable and disable the Docker content trust verification. And so if enabled, as we did, the integrity of the image will be verified relying on the Docker Notary server indication in the second environment variable that we created. So that allows you to define the URL specifically where the Notary server is located and check if this section is completed properly. So this is how, guys, you can set and manage the content trust of a real-time application. Thanks for watching, and in the next video we'll talk about the Docker registry.